Mr. Beast, Ryan, Emma Chamberlain, Markiplier, and all other top creators, they all have one thing in common, and that is charisma. And charisma doesn't mean having a beautiful facial harmony or attractiveness. In fact, everyone can become charismatic as long as they integrate in themselves the characteristics of charismatic people. Are you laughing? Inadvertently, I found this magical book Expert Secrets, which tells if you want to have true fans, you need to become charismatic. From this book, I will tell each and everything about becoming a charismatic YouTuber that will help you instigate a mass movement, and this movement will pay you hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars for the value you provide to them. Hamza Ahmed is the living proof. He earns around $250K a month by just monetizing his audience. By the way, I'm gonna make a series on it, so if you are new, subscribe so you don't miss other videos. The first and the most important thing, which may sound lame and cliche, but I'm 100% sure you still don't comprehend it. You need to believe in yourself. You have to see yourself as a charismatic leader if you want to become one. You shouldn't be even 0.0001% skeptical about it. Many people have feeling of inadequacy, like I can't be a leader, I'm not good at anything. And just because of these inner battles, they don't even start. They have already lost the external battle. Make sure you are not this guy. You have the capabilities to change people's life. It's a tragedy for your future fans if you don't believe in yourself. Let's take my example. I have been in the YouTube game for a year. I know a lot of information about YouTube. Maybe I don't have enough credentials, but the information that I'm giving to you can change people's life if they know how to execute it. I have a friend from India. When I encountered him, he was getting around 30, 40, 50 views. And then I helped him to grow on YouTube. Now he's getting considerable amount of views. And by that I mean 5K, sometimes 10K, 2K at average. I admit that there are people who have decades of experience in this niche, but it won't stop me from giving my gift to others. So should you. Then after this, you need to determine your audience. Are they 40-year-old males? Are they teenagers? Scribble down every tiny details about them. Their age, their interests, their goals, their dreams, their fears, every tiny details about them. For me, my target audience is my past self, my 1 year ago past self who didn't have enough knowledge about YouTube. As I mentioned earlier, I had spent almost a year working and experimenting different things on YouTube, and I was getting around 5, 3, 6, 10 views after days of grunt work. I'm here sharing the knowledge that I wish I had known sooner. I'm literally sharing everything I know about YouTube. I'm not concealing anything behind a paywall, and this is just for my past self audience. And we can see that there are people who are getting value from these videos. The two things I mentioned earlier, believing in yourself and determining your audience, are the foundation. Let's get to the main boss, the main thing, which is the characteristics of attractive leader. The first characteristics, there are 6 according to this book, among which the 4th one is the characteristic that is common in all historical charismatic leaders who have instigated movement. No wonder whether it was Jesus or Hitler. The number 1 characteristic is live the life your audience want to live. By that I don't mean that you need to have a big house or Bugatti outside of your villa in Dubai. No, you just need to contrast your past life with your current life. You have to tell your backstory of your origination to your audience. For example, Mr. Beast. 4 years ago, he had almost 20 million subscribers, but he wasn't everybody's favorite. Yeah, there were a few true fans at that time, but he wasn't loved and prevalent as he is now. And then he became a star. Suddenly he became a star. He became everybody's favorite. How? By podcasts. He started coming into different podcasts and shared his backstory of his struggles to grow on YouTube and also his childhood struggles as well. The people resonated with him. Then he became everybody's favorite. Telling your backstory sometimes is very it can cause a bit of privacy issue, but trust me, it will never hurt you in your personal life. There's so many advantages. Number 1, people build rapport with you. Number 2, they see themselves in you. They resonate with you and they become your true and loyal audience, which is what our main end goal is. The number 2nd characteristic, this was important obviously, but the next characteristic that I'm going to tell you is a bit more advanced, and it is maintain absolute certainty. They say the person with most certainty wins, and it's 100% true. You need to be certain with your message. I'm not talking about self-confidence. If you want to make an impact, you need to be certain with your message if you want to make an impact. Yeah, at first you can't be 100% certain with your message, because for this you need people who trust you and watch you daily. You need people who nod their heads, representing their acknowledgements. In the beginning, you will have a bit skepticism about it, but over time, with a bit of consistency and improvements in your content, you will certainly find the right people. And then at this, you will be certain with your message. You will build certainty. Somehow it will be built. Now, being certain is absolutely important. But the next facet is what draws people to your message, and that is don't be boring. Let me show you a spectrum. On the extreme side lies the crazy zone. In the middle lies the mainstream flat out lies. And near the extreme zones lie the prolific zone. You need to be in the prolific location. By that I mean you need to make unique content with full inventiveness. And also it's vital that your message is a bit sour and sweet simultaneously. But sweetness should outweigh the soreness. For example, you have lost your fat and now you want to help people to lose their fat, and also you want to make a business around it. Okay, first of all, your message shouldn't be crazy like just dish the food completely, don't look at the food, just look at the sun, and eventually you will lose the weight. No. And also it shouldn't be mainstream bullshit advice, the stuff everyone knows doesn't work. You need to give them the real authentic advice, the things that you have implemented in your fat loss journey. Those tactics must work. Relay the authentic information to your audience. If you give them the real advice, bro, they will literally die to pay you for your advice. Obviously, when you are in prolific zone, you will offend some people. For every 100 true fans, you are likely to get one true hater. We can call it true hater. And for some reason, they always seem to be the loudest. But you know what? If you haven't offended anyone by noon each day, you aren't working hard enough. And also there's a guy, J. Abraham, in this book. He said, if you truly believe that what you have is useful and valuable to your clients, then you have the moral obligation to try to serve them in every possible way. Now the fourth characteristic, the main facet of a charismatic leader, and it's very, very important. This is learn how to use persuasion. For persuasion, let me give you a simple sentence. This is basically from a book, The One Simple Sentence Persuasion Course by Blair Warren. He has spent a decade of his life in researching and studying persuasion, and he broke down persuasion into one simple sentence. People will do anything for those who encourages their dreams, allay their fears, justify their failures, confirm their suspicions, and throw rocks at their enemies. Let me tell you all these 5 things separately. Number 1 is encouraging their dreams. Everyone has dreams. Your audience also has dreams. People have dreams and they want to achieve them. But for some reason, their mind don't assist them in achieving their goals, and so they don't pursue them. In this era, dark era, somebody from nowhere pops up and encourages them to take the action, to take the plunge. And with this mere encouragement, they became his true fans. Your audience also has dreams. You just need to encourage them with your voice.
The second one is justify their failures. This means acknowledging and validating the reasons why they might not have succeeded in the past. It helps to alleviate the feelings of guilt or shame and allows them to feel understood and accepted. By doing this, you can build trust, making it easier to influence and persuade them. Essentially, it's about empathizing with their struggles and providing reassurance that their failures are not entirely their fault, thereby opening them up to new opportunities. Take the blame off their shoulders and give them new opportunities and a new life. The number 3 is allay their fears, meaning to destroy their fears. People with fear are less likely to take action. You need to alleviate them. I'm not saying give them the motivational bullshit. Yeah, you can do it. No, give them the solid reasons. Tell them stories and offer them support. Give them logical evidence to diminish their fears. Stay close to them until their fear subsides. Just ask yourself, if you are afraid, which type of person do you prefer to be with? Become that person to those who have fear residing in them. The number 4 is confirm their suspicions. Your audience is presumably suspicious of you and the journey. Confirm their suspicions and tell them why it is the way it is. Confirm that their suspicions are legit and they are not ignored. It builds a massive rapport between you and the audience. And the last one is throw rocks at their enemies. Many people, when they are on a journey, have enemies. You have to stand with your audience and assist them in retaliating against their enemies. Their enemies can be in the form of doubts, group, a setback, a specific individual, or anything that demotivates them. Throw rocks at them and see people becoming your true fans. This is what Blair talks about persuasion. But still, there are 2 more characteristics left. Let me tell you quickly. The 5th one is care a lot. There is an old saying, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you have to care a lot about your audience. The 6th one, which is the last, finally, is to offer them free value from their perceived relationship with you. In most cases, the simplest way to do it is to make them feel that they are the part of this moment. And this is what you need to become a charismatic YouTuber. Watch this video on the left to learn more about YouTube. You are only one video away. Always remember this. Keep crushing. Subscribe.